Hello, this is my Minesweeper app, and I'm going to be going down in order. So this is just the app, and it's just the main method of making this frame, which is called extended frame. And this is the extended frame. It just extends the J frame, and it's just the class itself here with the title, making this panel just being added instead of visible. And the actual panel itself is a special thing here is that it is keeping the frame and is sending the frame down into this grid panel. So here's the grid panel. We're just making the 2D array for the tiles and then making the grid itself. And here's just the values being passed through in the frame. So making the grid here, setting the layout for this, and then these are the tiles. Now the tiles will be populated. So using a 2D, since we're using a 2D array here, I need to use a double for loop to get to all the rows and columns. And I'm passing in the backtext because that's what's going to be shown. I don't really need to add anything else to these tiles. And then I'm making sure that I check the location of each row and column to see if I need to go ahead and write down a B or for a bomb, or if I need to get the count and then put that count to a string to make sure it matches the data type of the backtext. And then this is just making the tile and giving it the backtext. And also, this will be something else that I set the type of frame for each button. That way every single button has this frame that it belongs to. And just adding this, just add these tiles to the grid layout. Okay, now here's the card button. Just another J panel with this layout and its front, its back, whether it's been revealed or not, and its backtext in its frame. So I went ahead and have a private class here that I implements the action listener for each button because I wanted it special. So it uses the revealed property. So if it's not revealed, revealed becomes true, and it shows the back, which will be whether if it's a bomb or if it doesn't have any bombs or how many bombs it has around it. And it checks if this backtext is a bomb and it is revealed. It will give you this option dialog where it asks you if you want to continue. And this is where frame comes into play here. That way I could use my frame with the J options. So it asks you, do you want to continue? And the option to quit. And it gives you yes, no option. And if you pick no, it'll just dispose of the frame. And if you pick yes, it disposes of the frame and creates a new frame. And just restarts the loop. And these are just methods to get things here. You get the backtext, you set your backtext, you get your frame, you set your frame for each button. And then this is just making the layout, setting the layout, setting the backtext, and then actually making the buttons. Just front and back, adding the listeners. Yeah, for each side. Okay, and make sure the front is the first thing that I show. Okay, yeah. And the grid itself, we have a bomb grid, a count grid, number of rows, number of columns, and number of bombs. And I made a point here because I felt that would be easier, for me at least, to visualize and get for future calculations the type of points that I would need. So it just holds the information for its x and y, and if you want to get the x and y. So these are just the different constructors, overloaded constructors here, creating a bomb grid and a number of rows and columns that somebody would want, and number of bombs. This is just getting the number of rows and columns and bombs. This is just making the bomb grid here by just copying it and then just giving it back whenever you want to get it. The same thing for the get count grid. You just make it a new grid and then as a copy and then just giving it back. This is just making sure the bomb is inside of the amount of rows and columns somebody would want. Instead, it'll come up with an error if it's outside. And this is where I was using the point system, where these calculations are the same as how it would be on a grid, where you would have the position of itself, and then you would do these translations either up, left, right, all around it. These are the adjacents. And in a single for loop, I can just get the count based on these parameters that they fit inside of the actual number of rows and columns. And then I'll be using the bomb location here to also get those positions and increase its count, and or don't increase its count. And then if any of this fails, it'll just keep its count as itself because there's no bomb there. And it is inside of the actual section here. And just return the count. Okay. And then creating the bomb grid, it's just a bunch of booleans, true and false, using the count, using the new count here. So just make sure that the amount of bombs is true. So if you wanted 25 bombs, this will continue making bombs in a random order until there's 25 bombs, or at least until there's less, like this amount of bombs here. And make sure it's truly random, so whatever position you get is completely random if you're using this here and remaking and re-rolling. And then it's just creating the bomb grid, well, the count grid. And it's just using the bomb grid's parameters. It's basically the same. And just putting these positions here, get count of the location, putting that into its position, its row and column, and then returning that count grid. Yeah, that's it for the project. So I just show that it runs. Okay, so let's just try here. Oh, okay. That was kind of unfair. Let's try again. Okay. We got a nice square here. Oh, there we go. And that's it.